Welcome to the No Fame Podcast Null Shore Episode 16, Time Skip. We have another Twitch live stream coming up this month, and if you want to keep up to date with what's happening, be sure to follow us on our social media. Now, let's get right into the next episode of Null Shore. Getting back into our little story here, you guys had a couple of days of kind of downtime. Some of you are planning on hitting up the library. Some posters have been going around town about a fundraiser. A fundraiser being hosted at the Misplaced Dinghy on this side of reality and not the other side of reality.
Who is organizing the fundraiser?
The city is organizing. City Council.
Okay.
But one of the final nights of your kind of downtime was Ed going home after a long evening and finding his door cracked open. Ed snuck around the side of his own home and took a peek in through one of his back windows to see two shadowy figures inside.
Are they close to the back door?
They're closer to the main entrance, like your normal entrance of your house.
I shall engage sneak mode, so I will press X to crouch and open the door because it's not locked.
I'm going to get you to do a stealth check, and I'm going to roll a kind of a passive perception type situation.
That's a big 8.
A big 8. You know what? That's better than the 4 and the 7 I rolled.
I was going to use a Benny, but...
Yeah, use a Benny. So many Bennies. Yeah, you like... Even the door, the back door, you always knew it had a creak, and it still fucking creaks, but they don't fucking notice. And it's kind of
do
dark.
I recognize either of them?
You know what?
Sorry, continue.
No. Give me a perception check, since you did succeed on that stealth check. So let's roll a perception to see if you can kind of
16.
16 is very good. You've got kind of the benefit of the back house. The back of the house is less lit than the front of the house, so you can kind of see like a bit of the floodlights you have on the shed are pouring in through the windows, and it looks like a man and a woman.
I will go up to whoever's closest behind me and just put just grab onto them and hold the gun against their back and be like, "What? Who the fuck are you?"
You creep up and you hear like you put the gun up. Who the fuck are you? You hear like oh, Jesus fucking Christ. And then, Dad, oh my fucking God, can you fucking calm it for half a second? And a light switch clicks on, and it's your daughter Maggie and a gentleman you don't recognize, but you have him at gunpoint.
I hope so. I hope I know who this is. I have a good guess. I'd really hope that this is Randy Railcap, but I'll let go of him and put the gun away and be like, "Maggie, what the fuck are you doing here?"
The gentleman says,
"He's nice to see you," but
hands up, and she's like, I came home because it's a couple of days. I figured I'd come home for a change.
A little heads up would have been nice. I might not have greeted whoever this asshole is with a gun.
And she's like,
Maybe
well,
I still would have.
I thought, you wouldn't fucking show up with a fucking gun through the back door. I was looking for a light switch. I parked in the shed. The rig is out there. She's like, this is and she kind of like this. Give me an insight check, actually.
$22.
22 is very, very fucking good. She looks a little bit sad for a moment, and she looks back up. She's like, "This is Lyzern. He's a private investigator, and the last job I was on in Toronto, just it was a rough one, Dad. He helped a lot of us. He's a good man. He's like, hey, right, sorry, I'm didn't mean to get a gun poked in my back there. Listen, nice to meet you. Sorry,
shake his hand.
We're not trying. Yeah, he shakes your hand. He's like, we're not trying to break in or anything. It's
he holds out his hand and does not shake it.
Oh, he's like, all right, no, proper thing. Listen, and he looks at Maggie. He's like, Maggie, look, there's a place I'm gonna down the road, passed by it a while back. I'm gonna head down there and stay for the night. You guys can catch up. I'll be talking to you tomorrow. And he's like, nice, Mr. McCannon, nice meeting you. I'm sure I'll be talking to you tomorrow. And he kind of like gives another look, and he's like, okay, right then, and he kind of leaves.
Have a good one, Larry.
She watches him leave, and she's like, it's Lyzern, it's not Larry. Lyzern.
I don't even know how to hear that, let alone speak it.
He's from Ireland. It's a traditional. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hey, listen. I'm only in for a couple of days. I don't know. I figured get some food or something.
Yeah, sure. I actually got a coupon for the Bethyl house.
I'd love to see Anne and the group over there. Yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe tomorrow for breakfast.
Sure. I mean, you can stay here, or are you setting up at the house?
No, I figured I'd stay here. Sorry, I didn't book anything. I figured I'd stay home.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, there's been a lot of shit going on in town lately. People going missing and stuff, and sorry to spook your friend, and yeah, sorry about that.
She looks at you.
I'm
she's
sure
like,
Larry's a nice guy and everything, but
she looks at you and she's like, it's not like that. A lot has been going on in the city, and he kind of got wind of somewhere he could do some good, and I was coming out this way anyway. It kind of just worked out.
Well, hopefully someone can do some good around here. But you're welcome to stay as long as you want. Happy to see you.
Yeah.
And Ed's gonna go in for a hug.
Yeah. Of course, she goes in for a hug. You guys just probably stay up for a while, probably have a beer or something like that for the rest of the night and hang around. The next morning comes, a couple of you wanted to go to the library, right?
Hmm.
Who all is heading to the library?
I'll go.
We'll go.
Chad would razor scooter over to the library.
Can we bring the witch?
Can we bring the witch?
Rowdy,
are you bringing
Rowdy
Paige?
Rowdy jumps into the back of the Escalade, and Ben will swing by Bethyl House to get a coffee and a cronut, and he'll pick up Anne and Paige. As well.
Yeah, Paige is there having breakfast, so she's like, these foods, I've never had anything like it in my life. It's amazing.
His cronuts are excellent. I recommend at least 2 a day.
I can't believe we've never thought about eating crow before, but it's amazing.
It tastes just a lot like butter.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort, but yes. Well, let's go to the, wherever you're going.
Ed is going to bring Maggie to the Bethyl house in the morning, and we'll meet with you guys there. So I imagine he's not sitting with the witch.
Lyzern is staying at the Bethyl house. He booked himself. He didn't want to intrude on anything. He's there, kind of sitting at a table when you guys arrive, in a nice button-up white shirt. He's got like a little tie on, and his sleeves are rolled up, and he's having the Bethyl house special. But yeah, you guys all kind of convene, and Maggie kind of sits at his table, and he's like, right, and he kind of waves to Ed. He like puts up a hand. Ed waves back. He gives you a thumbs up. Yeah, right. Right on. But yeah, you guys kind of convene to go to the library, right? Most of you, all of you, everyone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure all the librarians are dead right now, so I think we can just go in, right? Like, I feel like
Chad uses his credit card to open the door again.
Ben would. Oh yeah, never mind. I forgot he had the credit card of opening. Ben has Ben probably has like
that's such a great
door key where he gets all these where he has all these books that Elias was kind of hooking him up with, and then Catherine was hooking him up with. So I can't imagine like these ancient books were being just like handed over with a library card. So
yeah, you guys pull up to the library. The library, as you pull up, is like an older brick building. It's kind of one of those heritage areas around town. Nice old brick building. It's got like an inset kind of entry where you kind of walk in, and it's newly installed like glass entrance. It's taped off by like police, but you notice it's not like crisscross. It's not like left right. It's like there's like one coming from the ground and up, and then like another kind of going across in like a lowercase t situation going on. And it's like enough room that you can like walk under, which is kind of confusing. Inside,
come on in. It'll just be a little more difficult than before.
You guys it's not stopping you from getting in. It's just like,
we need you to know that we know that we should be marking this off, but here you go.
Exactly. That's the vibe. It's like, we're going to put this here because we have to. We want you to know that. Inside, there are just like fucking the Bethyl, not the Bethyl house. The Null Shore Library isn't like a large building. It's 2-story, but the upper house is like kind of a balcony situation. You can see the upstairs, and there's more bookshelves and stuff like that upstairs. But it's fairly neatly arranged, except there's like a few tables as you walk in, and the books are kind of scattered everywhere, and some of them are open. And you hear like some mumbling, like,
well, yeah, but I figured if we did this, like I didn't see anything at all here.
And you hear another voice.
I didn't see anything either, but if they're missing, there has to be something here, right?
And then the first voice goes,
yeah, but, well, how about this, right? How about we never found anything here. How about if we place something here, right? And then the other investigators come in, and then they find it, they report it to us, kind of makes it look like we're doing our job, right? Kind of makes it seem like there's some evidence to be found. But yeah, I think there's something against that. I think there's like I don't think we should be planting evidence like that, right? That doesn't sound right.
And like one of the heads pokes up and like, oh, hey, they're Ben and Anne. Oh, Ed. Sorry, I don't know. Rest of ye. Oh, we had some tape out there. Come on in. It's like two of the police force. Not all of the police force are as diligent and as knowledgeable as, let's say, the police chief, Chuck, for example. This is Gracie Dawson and Adrian Garrison, two of the kind of beat cops. You know, they're out there every day, eating donuts, driving around. Like, hey, how's it going? Oh, we're
Once
just.
I get my note up, I'm gonna need you to repeat their names.
It's Gracie Dawson and Adrian Garrison. Like, oh yeah, we're just we haven't found anything around here, but we're looking a lot, actually. I think it might be time for a break soon.
I'm gonna put my hand out and like, I'm Glomin, Search Team 7. Pleased to meet you.
Like, oh, Search Team 7, you're one of the only teams to not have someone get violently ill.
Oh,
amazing.
Constitution saving throw for Adrian. He's like kind of like an older, like a middle-aged man. He's a little bit heavy set, a bit of a beer gut going, and he like shakes your hand. And he's like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And you hear like a. He's like, "Oh, Gracie, I gotta go. Oh, I gotta hit the can," and he like runs to the back. Gracie's like, "Oh yeah, he's. I think he tried to cook himself some breakfast mousse, and I don't think it went well. Some mousse sausages."
It must have been pretty old mousse. They've been out of season for a little bit.
He had it in jars, right? Stored for a while.
I was wondering if you were going to catch on to that.
I'm a ranger. I had to do my research for the role. And I'm a newfie.
Gracie kind of looks up. She's like, "Oh, well, yeah, we took a bit. We're looking for any kind of evidence that seems like Catherine, I don't know. You know, to be honest, don't really know why we're here. Doesn't seem like any lead would be at her workplace, right?"
Well, I mean, it sounds like you were trying to put evidence to make it look like something else.
Well, no, if let's say an outside investigator came and they found some evidence, might make it look like we're doing our job, right?
Wouldn't that be
If
the opposite of
somebody
doing your
else
job?
found evidence, you think that would make you look good at your job?
Well, they bring it to us and we're like, "Oh, thanks for letting us know that there was evidence there."
But,
You know
but
what?
should
You're
you
right.
have found what?
I think it is break time. Out in, I was gonna bring him to Doreen, but there's a half a dozen cronuts and at least 2 coffee out in the back seat of the Ranger Escalade. If you guys can go. You guys can go help yourselves.
Now. Oh, that's
yeah, no, we do. We have Escalades. It's the pearlescent white one with the chromed out spinners. And the 200-pound Irish wolfhound in the back.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, Rowdy. Of course. Yeah, Rowdy's. I'd love to go see. You know, we're trying to get Chuck to approve like a police, like a Humvee limo type situation for us to, in case we have
but
to
in the
apprehend
trunk, it's actually a hot tub instead of just like a trunk.
In case we have to apprehend a lot of dehydrated people, right?
No, it makes sense, right? If you have to bust a party that's hosting the California Raisins, then
we don't want them.
You're going to want them plump for interviewing.
Yeah, we want to make sure they're hydrated. We don't have that at the station. We don't have anything to hide. We have bottles of water, right? Anyway,
cronuts. Go get some cronuts.
And she like walks over, like doof, 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 knocks on this bathroom door. I'll be outside with Rowdy at the Escalade, the Ranger Escalade. They got the budget. We didn't get. Anyway, I'll be out there.
Ranger Escalade, not police Escalade.
And yeah, the inside, Gracie heads out, and
Chad hands her 2 beers as she walks by.
And she's like, "Oh, She's like, oh, it's a bit early, but I'll be having these later. Hey, she just goes on.
I'm gonna pull out from my my bag, my messenger bag, the Timeless Monument book with no author that I found.
Yeah.
It said it came from the library. Does it have its library code on it, like its referencing number?
Yeah, it's got like a little Null Shore library stamp. And
it has a stamp, but like on the spine of the book, like to put it onto the shelves. Would I be able to find
Dewey Decimal System?
Yes. Does it have its Dewey Decimals?
There's no exterior marking on there's no label or there's no little sticky thing on it to put it on a shelf.
All right. I think we need to find out where this book might have come from, because there's other things probably related to it that could benefit us in our search. And I'm just going to lay the book down for anybody who wants to take a look at it.
You guys let me know what you guys kind of want to do or look for or accept to roll.
Well, unless looking for where this book would have come from relies on perception, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
Or insight. I could insight the book.
Well,
if the book gets stolen, I could try and track it down. But in terms of finding anything, I'm not great at that.
Yeah, you already know the contents of the book, where it's kind of the breakdown of the history of the lighthouse of Null Shore, essentially.
Yep.
There is no author. It's kind of like a running collection of journal entries and documents and stuff like that. But in terms
Paige,
of
where do you lie in this book, Paige? Like, where would you have been from like the start of this book on, or previous?
She looks at you and she's like, oh yes, and she takes the tome and she's like, ooh, so and she starts like thumbing through and she's like, oh yes, here we are, right here, like halfway, a little bit more than halfway through the book, and she's like, and yep, the section about burning a witch is me. That would be me right here. And she's pointing at a paragraph about burning the witch.
All right, cool. I mean, good job at not getting burned. That's a good thing to not be good at.
It cost me a lot, and I did spend quite an awful amount of time in that horrible other realm, and now it's 300 years later. So, who's the winner?
Did you have any investments? Did you have investments?
No,
because those definitely have matured.
I did. I was betting on some races, but didn't turn out. The whole burning thing.
All right. Is there a basement in the library?
If you want to give an investigation check, you're not aware of a basement?
I was hoping to avoid. Was looking for anything. Investigation.
Well, it's a party game. What's everyone else doing? Who's doing what? What's happening?
Is there, instead of a basement, is there a restricted section?
I was kind of hoping that was in the basement.
Yeah. Glomin, if you want to look around, you can do an investigation check. What's everyone else up to?
I'm gonna go. Like, is there like a back room somewhere where it's like an employee lounge type of deal, or like or private offices or anything like that?
Yeah, if you want to help Glomin, that feels like you and Glomin are kind of doing that. That sounds like the same search to me.
Okay.
So if both of you want to roll, or if Glomin wants to take advantage, it's up to you.
I'll give Glomin advantage.
Oh, all right. Well, first one was 11, so 17.
Oh, 17 is very good. There is an employees area near the back of the library. It is kind of what you would expect. It's there's only really one employee that works at the library, and that's the librarian, and they have like a little office. There's like a little mini fridge. You walk back there, and there is a desk, and it's absolutely kind of scattered with books and papers, and there's a whole mess of things on this desk here. You guys two of you kind of walk back towards that area. Chad and Ben, you were looking for a basement. Did you roll for that?
Yeah, 7.
You find a door, and then you open it, and it's the same bathroom that Adrian was in. You're like, oh, no, not that's not the basement door. And you like meander back towards the main area. But for Chad and Anne, the two of you, are you guys kind of tagging along, or are you looking to do something else?
I think Chad is talking with Paige, being like, wait a minute, you were born 300 years ago. Do you just not age, or is that like you didn't age there? How does that work?
Oh, yes. Well, I was born in the 1600s, actually, and, well, we age a little bit slower than most people. I was kind of taken into a sisterhood before we crossed the sea to find ourselves as the protectors of this shore. And you see, things kind of move differently in the other realm. It seems like it's not the same amount of time that will pass there, while a long time had passed there. I feel like I've kept my age quite well. I was in my late 20s the last time I was in living here, and I think maybe I appear to be in my 60s or so by now.
Oh, so it's kind of a mix. Like you're just really age slowly, and that place made you age slower. Cool.
Well, I aged at a normal rate, but it seems like the normal aging range kind of was expanded over quite a bit of time there, as it turns out.
Cool. That's all Chad wants to know. He's just worried about his skin cracking, trying to figure out the best way to stay young.
Anne, what's Anne up to? Is she up to something?
I feel like she's probably following Ed and Glomin, because the reason to be here seems to be like the librarian as a person keeps being of interest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you tag along with that little group. You guys form a little trio, and Paige is kind of like looking around at some books, and you see her picking up something. She's like, I didn't know there were 50 shades of gray. That's interesting.
Oh, that's a good one. You should try it.
I just kind of all thought it as gray. It's the one. Anyway, that's what she said. She's kind of like, she is looking around practically at some books and stuff like that. It's not all a bit by the DM, that's for sure. You guys make it into the desk area, where the little break room / office type area. And the librarian's desk is kind of scattered with books and papers and writings. You guys rolled a 17 to kind of check out this area. There is another kind of book there laying on the top. Again, there's two books laying on the top of the desk, and a little note, kind of like scrap paper where some notes have been taken. One of the books is called just Within the Family, and then the second book is The Lost Shore and the Occult, A History of Witchcraft and Black Magic. And there is, again, like a stack of like papers and notes and scribbles and stuff. Kind of, someone has been taking notes as they're going through all this.
Chad will pick up the Occult in the Shore and start reading it.
Yeah, give me like a history check as like a quick kind of thumb through to get the
20.
Oh,
Dirty.
Amazing. Dirty 20 is great. This is kind of like even the book is kind of bound in like dyed in like a darker leather, and it kind of explores some of the lesser known, maybe even less believed practices of people along the shore. It describes some cult gatherings performing dark magic, twisting nature to their own whims, to look after artifacts transported across the sea from the old world. And it's you're flipping through the chapters. It's hard to pinpoint exactly some of the locations that they're talking about because things have changed. But it makes it obvious that there were some disturbances and some disagreements about the practices happening within the shore here. They found it references some strange sigils kind of being found, and some families that still keep some of this ideology within the ages. They kind of pass down these beliefs from generation to generation. And there are two names kind of mentioned that with a 20 and a quick thumb through, it seems like one of the people burned at the stake for their practices was known as Paige Wynn, and two other names are Zaria and Moria that were accused of being witches, but never were tried, and never were found and tried. You kind of skip to the
Paige.
end.
Hey, Paige, is Zaria and Moria your sisters?
She's like, yes, Zaria, Moria. It's been a lifetime. I haven't seen them quite some time, and I hope they managed to get away, at least.
Well, according to this book, they weren't burned for being witches, so that's good.
Oh, well, that's comforting, actually. Yeah, that's great. I enjoy that.
Is there anything more? I think you would flip back to the artifacts page.
Yeah, with that 20, when you kind of flip back, I'll say this kind of takes up Chad's, afternoon as everyone is looking around. This is kind of what Chad is doing. The artifacts seem like they were uncovered like by the new arrivals. So the people coming across the sea, they're the ones that kind of stumbled across these artifacts, and as they were building up the village, it kind of seems like they're blaming the occult for all of the kind of horrible things that happened to the people of the village. But it kind of also goes hand in hand with them finding these artifacts and chopping down the trees in the forest and stuff like that. But, from an outsider looking in, it looks like they didn't consider the forest at all. It's just they were blaming witchcraft and demon worship and all that.
Can Anne look around the office-y place? I feel like she wants more information on the Trinity and to know if the librarian was looking at stuff like that. So is there Trinity-ish looking things about?
Yeah, roll. Give me an investigation, but roll with advantage because Paige is kind of like she's like a puppy, and she's like new, but Anne is the one who's been kind of like helping her out, so she's like sticking with Anne and like helping Anne out.
Okay, sick. Investigation.
Yeah.
Thank you for the help. 15.
Oh, amazing. 15 is great. Chad took the kind of occult and black magic book. There's another book called Within the Family, but as you're kind of moving, as you kind of pick up this tome, you notice a lot of the paperwork is just in handwriting, and it's made with like a ballpoint pen. It's pen marks. It's not like old ink or anything, so it looks like a fairly new document, you could say. And it has a lot of like the titles of some of these books you found, like A Timeless Monument, A History of Disaster. You see Elias Grava mentioned, like Mr. Elias Grava, and then like reference arrows pointing to A History of Disaster, and then scribbled a couple of times, and then with a question mark most times, and then kind of at the bottom of this piece of paper, you see the word trinoculants, and then an exclamation point.
Trinoculants?
Yep.
I can spell that for sure.
Yep. I have a lot of faith. I don't think I wrote that word down. I just have it in my head.
There it is on a paper. Okay.
And these
do I have any idea what that means? Have I seen that word before?
If you want to give me a history check, you can try to discern.
Sure. Why not? 16.
Oh, you haven't seen this word before. It doesn't really ring a bell. It seems like you guys have a lot of the evidence within the books here. It might just take some time, but you do, with the 16, you do think about the fact that Ed took a picture from the top of the lighthouse when he accidentally shifted to the last section on the little selector on the beacon, and he could kind of make out that there was something happening between like the lighthouse, downtown, and the mountain, and that kind of formed like a perfect little triangle. And it seems like these scribblings of notes are constantly referencing something weird happening on the shore, and this word keeps popping up in vague reference, like trinoculants. Paige looks over your shoulder, and she's kind of like, well, myself and my sisters, we upheld the Trinity barrier, kind of like this force repelling the what you've been calling the Sixth Arcana. We've been the ones, well, we were the ones fighting against it to keep it at bay. It's kind of like this, if you think about it as a predator of somewhere outside of what we can see. It's kind of like a shark feeding on the things that make us who we are. And that's kind of the Sixth Arcana. And the barrier that we formed here was helping repel that. But again, a lot of the people who held a lot of influence cast us as witches, and, well, it's been breaking down. I don't know this word trinoculants, but I know that at least we were the ones holding the Trinity barrier. So anything else anyone is kind of looking at here?
Ben rolled a 7 on his investigation to find a secret basement, so he has spent the entire time going around knocking on every floorboard.
There are a lot of loose floorboards, and you pull them up, and it's just like, you're like, fuck. And you put it back, and you like go for a couple more feet and pull up another board, and you're like, fuck. And you put that one back.
It only makes sense.
What's Glomin up to?
I have no intelligence. I'm just wise.
I think Glomin's just going through the books with Chad, and actually is there any personal items belonging to Katherine Belle on display?
Interesting. Yeah, that's very, very cool. Give me an investigation check. All this feels very investigatory.
Natural 20.
A natural 20. Holy shit.
Give us the dirt.
You know what you find, Glomin? You find a set of keys. It looks like some house keys, but also it looks like some car keys attached to this.
All right. Now we're talking. Okay. I'm going to rally the troops and be like, we need to find where Katherine Belle lives and where's a car.
Well, I mean, we should know where she lives, right? It's a small town.
Yeah, I figured
Yeah.
Some of you for sure would know, without a doubt.
Sure. Well, a car might be outside too, so we could just like...
No, something weird happened with her car. It showed up on the side of the highway, and that's where we sent the search teams out from or something.
Oh yeah.
Her car was found on the side of the highway.
Well, let's just go over to hers. What if she's home?
Gracie and Adrian are, they're both, Adrian's like holding his stomach. He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go take I just live down the road. I'm going to call it for a day. And he kind of starts like walking down the way. And Gracie's like, oh, yeah, see you later. I'll see you tomorrow. No worries. Rowdy's a good boy. What a good boy Rowdy is. Hey, nice wheels. I'll be at the, they're having like this big event and we're all going to go, and they got some band coming in and they're playing music and raising money for a proper investigator to come in and really kind of get into the nitty gritty of all of this, and try to really figure out what happened to little old Katherine. I think she just went out of town for a couple of days. Forgot to tell people, but that's just me.
These cops are doubling down on being absolutely awful at their jobs.
Gracie, I would love to perform at this event. I have very good dance skills. I bring my own mat.
I think they, I think they had an opening act, but I think he was kind of like, I'll open if no one else opens. It was Roland. He works for a local IT company here. He was going to DJ in place of to open for the band. Maybe you could perform instead of him, or maybe you could open for the opener. I feel like that'd be fun. Hey,
well, dance for the DJ.
Why don't me and Roland be a duet?
Yeah, I'm sure Roland would love that.
Music.
I'm sure his colleague would love to take over for Roland to do that. Yeah.
You could call the team Roland with the homies.
That,
Roland with the Glomies.
Oh,
that's very good.
It's settled.
Take an inspiration. I haven't given out inspirational campaign. Well, 13 episodes in, taking it. 14 episodes in, taking inspiration. 16 episodes in. I don't know. I lost track a while ago. What do you guys? What's the game plan? What do you guys do?
I don't know if there is much of a game plan until the. Are we gonna go look at her car? Or are we gonna wait until the? Let's go to her car.
Yeah.
How much time do we have before the fundraiser?
You find a poster to try to find out some information. It's a fairly well done poster, to be honest with you. Above it, in like this really like fucking Halloween-y almost kind of font, is the band name, and it says the band name is "We're Literally Witches" are playing. A trio from out of town. The poster shows like it's like 3 people on the poster. It's like a black mid-20s woman with like close shaved sides of her hair, and then it kind of really flows up from like this deep black to like a blue fade in her hair, like a mohawk situation happening. She's wearing like kind of punkish rock leather jacket, a band tee, like torn up jeans, and then like this big bass kind of slung over her back. And then behind her, there are two other people on the poster. A paler green-haired member dressed in kind of more reserved clothing than the woman out front, and their hands are on like the keyboard and kind of like really kind of nondescript, kind of subtle look to them. And the third person has like an undercut with their shorter black hair slicked over to the side. They're wearing like a black tank top, and their arms are completely fucking covered in tattoos, and their tank top just says "fuck turfs," and they have two drumsticks in their hands. The poster reads that they're hosting the fundraiser this Saturday, which is just a few days away.
Oh, okay. I thought it was later today. What do her tattoos look like?
There are these like two. From what you can see, you can only really get, I guess, one arm and a shoulder. But one arm has like a dragon wrapping around, and the mouth of the dragon comes up over the shoulder, and it's like breathing fire up to her neck. And then the other one kind of seems like it's hard to make out, but it's like a mishmash of color on her right shoulder.
Is the picture big enough or detailed enough that I can see if she has any like knot work hidden in like the dragon or anything?
Yeah, I'll tell you
just
that.
Because they're called We're Literally Witches, and there's 3 of them, and you know, 3 keeps popping up all over the place. I mean, I'm just trying to play the numbers here.
I know. I love that name of a band, so I fucking went with it. No, you do not see any knot work. It all seems like kind of bright, flashy, eye-catching tattooery.
Right. Okay, if that's the case, then yeah, let's go to the last place that we saw Katherine Belle's car. If everybody's cool with that.
Where are we going to sneak into her house, though?
I mean, I think if we knock on the... How old was Katherine? Was she living alone, or was she still live at her folks' house?
I think she was living alone.
Yeah, she was like late 20s, living on her own.
Oh, okay.
She was from out of town. She wasn't local.
House.
You say she wasn't local?
She only moved to town after Elias. She came for the job opening.
Just one of them come from a ways.
She's come from a way.
Yeah, you guys, this will take up the better part of this day, kind of you all piling into the Escalade and driving around.
Inconspicuously.
Actually, while we're driving, I'm going to telepathically chat with Rowdy and see if he heard Gracie and Adrian talking about anything conspicuous while we weren't around.
He's like, hey, they had a lot of sausages, and they were
kept
really good.
Feeding me these cronut pieces.
Oh, but hey, our friend, you got me to go look for one of those people, but I didn't run into him. But I ran into our friend Emmett, and he gave me this twig. And Rowdy has like tucked into his collar. He like and hauls his twig out of his collar.
He pulls it up and like puts it over the back seat because he's in the trunk
like
to like Anne's shoulder, and then Anne has to hand it up over to me. Hey Anne, can you pass me this twig that my dog just totally? He texted me, said that he had this. Listen, You've seen some weird shit. I can talk to my dog, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rowdy has a stick for me that my rock friend gave me. Not my rock bear, the hungry bear. My other rock friend.
Rock bear.
I can talk to your dog too. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy.
Hey, that's me. I'm the good boy.
Ben begrudgingly says, yeah, he likes that.
Yeah, you get handed this twig, and as you're kind of like driving around, you're thinking of your old friend Emmett, who has always kind of been around, really grounded individual in Null Shore. If you want, you can add Emmett's gift to your inventory, Ben. You guys make your way to Catherine's house. It's a pretty quaint little 2-story, like a nice little home. She was doing okay in this area. Most houses are kind of, the same. They're all kind of the same quality-ish, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's no car in the driveway. There's no lights on inside.
Ed will go up and pick the lock.
Yeah, give me
Chad was just about to offer.
We have the keys.
He's already doing it.
This is ridiculous.
21.
You do. You start to pick the lock, and then it's like kind of difficult, and then you think about Chad using a fucking credit card, and you just also like take a card from your pocket and like you grab like a card from your house.
Dale's ID.
Dale's ID. Oh yeah, Dale's ID. He's in the hospital. Who knows? And the door opens, and
that is the coolest shit ever.
And it's kind of quiet inside.
Thanks, Ben. It's a little skill I picked up.
Yeah, Catherine's house is awfully quiet. How about for the group, either one person can roll with advantage, or two people can roll. Whatever you want to do. An investigation would be pretty appropriate, but if you guys think about something else.
All right, who has the best investigation first off?
The investigation.
I've got +1.
I can cast Enhance Ability, but that means I can't cast Guidance. So whoever does do it between Glomin and...
Oh, I can cast Guidance.
Yeah, you do Guidance. I'll do Enhance Ability, which will give them advantage.
Okay, 19 in total.
19 in total is very, very good. You guys have been searching all over the house, and Ed and Glomin, since you guys kind of were fronting this, you got to make it up to the upstairs. Not Anne, Catherine. Catherine has like this little library, like little kind of like nice little bookshelves and a little office and stuff like that. And there's in the center of her desk where she's got a laptop there that's closed, and some paperwork and some books on her desk. There's like a little chest there kind of in the center of the desk, and with the 19 you both kind of like walk up and inspect it. It's not locked or anything. In fact, the latch is open on it, and you flip up, and there's these dull glowing greenish crystals inside of this chest.
Ben, do you have the purple crystals still?
Yes, sir.
Put them in the box.
And then shake it up.
Yeah, exactly.
What's in the box, man?
Nuclear missile. No.
I give Glomin the purple. How many purple crystals did I get? I don't want to hand everything over. I'd like to keep one if I could.
Yeah, I'd say you grabbed a couple, so you can keep one on you for sure. Yeah.
All right, so I will give Glomin the remaining crystals after I pocket a single pebble of purple crystal.
They're just regular amethysts with LEDs taped onto them.
What's Glomin doing? Sorry.
Glomin will put the purple crystals in with the green crystals, but I will also pocket a purple crystal.
Yeah, I like that. As you're doing this, Paige turns the corner and she's like, "Oh, those oh, you don't." And you kind of put the crystals together, and then all of a sudden, you guys like look at each other, and you're all sat around tables, bar tables. You guys have drinks in front of you, and you're all looking at each other in the misplaced dinghy in the corner. Roland is DJing on stage. You guys, just 2 seconds ago, we're in Catherine's house.
Can I retroactively say that before we got into her house, I put the twig on Rowdy's collar?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I was going to take the laptop, but I never said it.
Yeah.
Anne's going to immediately be like, fuck, this is what happened before.
Paige is like,
oh, right, you lost time, didn't you, Anne?
Paige is sitting there and she has a very large tankard. She's like, I was going to say that some of those have unnatural. Here we are. I have a feeling it's a couple of days later, but I've been known to be wrong. What is this happening? What is happening right now? What is the sound of?
This is that goddamn fundraiser.
And you guys
this is music.
Loading in, you see people moving speakers inside. You see a trio standing up with instruments kind of off. The misplaced dinghy is alive. There's people gathering and drinking, and some people are on the dance floor dancing as Roland, the DJ, is up there spinning his records. And you all have lost some time, lost a couple of days, and found yourselves in the misplaced dinghy. Thank you all so much for listening to the No Fame podcast, Null Shore. You can find links to all of our content on nofame.ca, including the podcast, YouTube channels, our schedule, and more. If you like our show, tell your friends. That's the best and easiest way to support us. You can check us out on Patreon. That's patreon.com/nofamepod. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you later on. Gently move the joystick.
X and his crouch.
No, you always push in on the stick, right? You push in on the joystick.
Yeah, X is like your main action button. Why would you set that to crouch? Like, what the fuck are you using on your controller?
Listen, Josh, I hold shift, okay? I play on a fucking computer. I hold shift.
That's
shift.
Much better. Okay.
Shift, yeah, for sure. It's shift. It's got to be shift.
X is your action button on every other controller. Everywhere.
Listening to a fucking architect describe a house didn't set you off, but X to crouch did.
It would
100%.
Oh god. Ed.
Here's Ed's house, by the way.
Oh my god.
There we go. I fucking knew that's what you were doing.
I love it. Amazing.
Can you draw a map of your controller now as well, or
Shift X?
There we go.
God only knows what was in that shot just then. Bye.